The microphone working? Hello, 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 hello. I am live. I just need to be sure that my microphone is working. Is the microphone working? Gwill, can you see if it's working? Oh yeah, I've got my phone here. Let's have a look. We'll check, we'll check. Is anybody watching? Can you hear me? Because I've had to move around and I don't want you not to be able to hear me. That doesn't say it there. Am I there? Hello, can you hear me? Give us a thumbs up if you're watching and you can hear me. And I can get started. Now, if you're watching, tell me where you're watching from. And if you're watching on replay, please put #replay in the comments. So how are we? Who's that watching? I can see we've got one. Today I want to talk to you about Valentine's Day. Love is in the air, or is it? Right, and I want to discuss something with you about your love language. Are you half of a match made in heaven or not? And what does it all really mean? Can you hear me? We've got a comment, let's see. Yes, Louise is here. Can you hear me, Louise? Hi. Oh, Louise, we've got some exciting news to share as well. I'll share the exciting news at the end. That might keep people watching. Right, so I posted this morning to say if you didn't get a padded card or a cuddly bear off your other half, then I don't want you to worry, right? I don't want you to worry. Yes, you can hear us. Brilliant. Louise, did you get something nice? Did you get a dozen red roses off Alan? You know, what does that all mean? What does it mean if you didn't? Would you be devastated? Good morning, Patty. Happy Valentine's Day, gorgeous lady. How are you? How are you? Because I want to talk to you because I see so many people who get tied up in a knot about this, right? And I wanted to just give you my spin on it because I didn't get anything, but I didn't give anything either, right? But that doesn't mean that I'm not loved or that I don't love my husband, right? And it's not that I'm taking a stand and saying, you know, let's not bother with that sort of thing. I think it's just because we've got such enough going on, right? We've got enough going on and we both know that we love each other. And I wanted to talk to you about your love language because sometimes we can get caught up in all of this. We can get caught up and think it means something if you don't get anything. Now, obviously, it's different if you're at the beginning of a relationship, and if that's what's really important to you, then that's what's important to you. And I'm not suggesting that you change that. You might want to be romantic and feel like that's, you know, your important thing. You have to have that tick in that box. But it's about sharing what it is that you want with your other half so that they know that it's important to you, right? And recognizing that your love language might not be a match. It could be that your love language is to have a gift on a day like today. But their love language might be something completely different, you know? And it's about trying to recognize what's important to you. You know, is it more important that someone buys you a gift? Is it more important that they listen? You know, is it more important that they remember to pick up your favourite food when they're out shopping and they fill your car up with petrol? It's about what's important to you. So don't get tied up in feeling like it's something, that it means something. Like really question, what does it really mean? What does that mean? Because I think when I was drinking, you can attach so much to these things, and often it's because there's something else, there's something underlying, there's some other thing that you're not happy with, and often we put a lot of emphasis on your partner to make you happy. Now, since I started recognizing what would make me happy and what makes me feel good, that's my responsibility. And whether that's my responsibility to share it with the people who I share my life with, but I think we can be guilty. I've certainly been guilty in the past of just waiting for someone else to make you happy without even really putting much time aside to focus on what it is that you want, what it is that would, really make you feel loved. Is it really a card? Is it really a dozen red roses? Or is it somebody who will hold your hand? Is it somebody who's going to listen to you? Or is it somebody who, cares enough to think about what you need, rather than showing these big gestures? Because in some ways it's about recognizing what that really means. What does that mean? Because you can have the biggest of gestures and they could be empty behind them. So today I just wanted to say that and to think, don't get caught up in feeling like it's the most important thing, because it's really not. It's about you knowing what would light you up and what makes you happy, and finding the confidence to express that to the people in your life. It's not easy, but honestly, removing alcohol was the first step in that self-awareness, in recognizing what makes me happy, what it is that I feel I need, what it is that I expect, I suppose, because often it's our expectations that aren't met. And when they're not met, that's when you've got to disconnect. So it's really about communication and sharing what it is that you want. So first, finding out what you want, and then having the confidence and being able to communicate what you want. And in the meantime, recognizing everything that happens and what does it mean, what meaning are you putting to it? If there's a meaning behind that the other person didn't anticipate, it's, you've got that, you're like ships in the night that are passing. And often when we feel misunderstood or we feel rejected in some way, that could be a reason that we might feel like we want to drink. So it's recognizing, it's looking at your reasons each time and thinking, am I drinking here because I want to relax? Am I drinking because I feel rejected? Am I drinking because it's the only way I can connect with my other half? What is it that, the meaning behind that? Why is it that you're questioning that? That's the mindset I want you to get into. Even before you decide to give up, it's about recognizing why you're drinking and the meaning behind it, right? I hope you follow that. Do you follow that? Because I see there's a connection. Oh no, Patty, that's brutal. Patty got dumped by ghosting after 2 years. So my goodness, so you were with somebody and then he just disappeared. And any of you single ladies, have you seen the Tinder Swindler? Oh my gosh, that's just another conversation altogether. I've missed the whole app dating thing. I've never been on that. I haven't got any experience of that, right? But my coach, she's in here, and I followed a little bit of her journey, and I saw this Tinder Swindler program on Netflix. I think it was on Netflix. Wow, check it out. If you're on the dating app scene, definitely check it out. All right, so you don't bother with Valentines. You're saving up for Florida. Exactly. You could have spent 20 quid each on something, and you think, well, what is it that we really want? And that's nice. So you're not sitting there feeling hurt and, oh, I didn't get anything, because it's recognize, you have that conversation, and it's just, is this important to you? If it's not, some people were brought up where, there may be £20 on the table where they can have fish and chips anytime they want, but the parents weren't there, and that's, if your parents were there and you were little, you might have thought, I'd rather have the 20 quid, but if you had the £20, you'd rather have someone there. So it's almost like you could get the biggest present, the best, the most luxurious bunch of roses, but they're not there, or even when they're there, they're not actually present with you. So it's about recognizing what's important and seeing it as it's almost like it's a cherry on top, isn't it? It wouldn't make or break. It wouldn't make or break me, but I suppose it's putting that meaning. It's the meaning behind it, right? So I just wanted to come on today in case we're getting all caught up in this, and you're watching other people with these beautiful, gesture of affection, and you might be sitting thinking, well, why is my Why am I not feeling that? It's about appreciating maybe that some people don't show their affection in that way, perhaps. And what does that mean? You know, what does that mean to you? Right? Because we can get ourselves all very confused. It was long distance, there were some red flags in the last few months. Oh, that must be hurtful though, still hurt. Yes. And oh, you must be so worried about, you know, that happening again. If you'd be hard to let go and imagine, you know, if you were just getting into a relationship, if that with the idea of someone just ghosting you like that, it's really brutal. Apparently, this dating scene online. I have got a few friends though who've had much success. I think that was with the paid for apps though. You know, if you pay a little bit of money, you know, you're getting people who possibly are taking it more seriously. And they're married now, really happily married. And because they did the psychology profiling, I think that's the difference. They paid for that. So it wasn't just about, I like the look of you. It was more to do with, this is the type of person I am. These are my values. And if you share those values, then you have a connection, right? And they started a business together before they actually got married. They were well invested in each other from very early days, actually. Yeah, that's a nice story. So it does happen, doesn't it? Is that how you found Alan, Louise? I didn't know that. I didn't know your story. Well, I'd love to hear that story, Louise. You'll have to tell us next time I see you. So, on to that. Louise and I have a big announcement. It's not definite. It's going to happen. We're going to start in Newbiggin by the Sea in Northumberland with my book launch. I'm going to find a pop-up venue. We've got my eye on one, so that I can have like a little bit of a display, and I'll be there for 2 or 3 days, some different times, so that I can hopefully meet some of you lot. And if anybody who's followed my journey is in that area, would love to come along and say hello and support me, I would love that. We're looking at dates now. I think looking about April time when my book will be out. It's been such a process. I think that's why I've probably pulled back, because I've been focusing so much on building myself up to this new, I suppose this the next stage of my mission, the next stage of my journey is about me sharing my concept, my idea with the world. And I've done it on a small scale, and I've felt supported in here in a group. And now I'm trying my hardest to get myself out into the online world. I'm building my YouTube channel. So if you wouldn't mind getting yourself on there and subscribing, that'll really help me out with my mission. My mission is to support 10,000 women to invest in their own personal development instead of relying on alcohol. So I feel ready now. The book's ready, almost. And yes, I'm planning to get myself out on the road, and I'm starting a new begin. I've also got a couple of other things lined up, but I can be revealing, you know, other dates and other places where I know I'll be. And my plan is just to get myself around. So if you own any sort of like, I don't know, well-being or coffee shop, anything like that, if you can think of any way where you think I'll be welcome, then please let me know, because that's a big part of the next stage of my mission. So I'd love your support to follow me with this next part of my journey. Oh, thank you, Patty. Hey, you never know, one day I might be in Canada. You never know. You never know. I mean, now we've got the boys. The big decision was made last month, and now we've got the boys electively home educated. We're kind of pretty free to do what we want. They've just signed up with, they've got a couple of different online schooling stuff that they've signed up to, and apart from those slots, we're really quite we're able to go. So it's just a nice feeling to think that I can make some plans and get ourselves out and about over the summer and be turning up and having some live person experiences, and maybe I'll be riding on the back of other things that are already going on. I think I did originally have the idea that I would have retreats here in North Wales, which will be coming. But this is the next part of my journey for sure, is to get out and about with my book and get myself seen as an author and get myself out there as a public speaker so that I can share my message on a bigger, braver stage. So I would love your support and for you all to be behind us with that. There was some red flags. Yes, it is, Louise. It's very exciting. Louise will be there with me in New Begin. Louise has got her own double page spread in the book. So we're going to hook in with lots of other things that are going on in that area. They're doing quite a lot on the whole like well-being and reading for well-being is another big push that they're having in that area. So we're going to be contacting everyone who's involved in that and getting my face out there and doing some in-person networking to really get my message into the community. So it's exciting times ahead. So watch this space and you never know, I might be turning up somewhere near you. Thanks for watching and bye from me.